At Ravenscar Psychiatric Institution, a man named Johnny is smoking a cigarette while his buddy, Chas, is talking to him. Apparently Johnny doesn't listen, as his smoke moves with a will of its own, miraculously making flowers and plants bloom and wither. His friend, Chas, chastises him for using magic, but Johnny says that he has to, and then gets angry. Johnny screams that he can't let it happen again, and the nurses come and sedate him. Years later, strange whispers swarm into John Constantine's mind. A group of miniature critters, his inner demons in physical form, attack him all of a sudden. Constantine chants a spell and destroys them. After this, Chas, one of John's old friends, pays him a visit. The two men go to the nearest pub to have a drink and catch up with each other. Chas talks about his ex-wife, Renee, and the mistakes he has made. He admits that his daughter, Trish, is his only hope, but she is in a coma caused by dark sorcery. Constantine goes with him to the hospital, and despite Renee's objections, he is allowed 5 minutes alone with Trish. Inside the room, Constantine takes a look at the girl's aura, but he realizes that the matter isn't simple enough to solve. Constantine then opens up a portal and summons Asa, the nightmare's nurse, who informs him that Trish's soul is gone. Making a contact with Trish, the girl calls for help, and soon after an evil entity challenges Constantine to come find him and find out what is really happening with the girl. The contact is lost and an address is inscribed on the window. More whispers come again as Constantine flies to LA to visit the mysterious address. Chas comes along. Constantine is not so sure about Trish being saved, but Chas appeals to his power and humanity and tells him to save her. Renee and Asa sit with Trish, who is protected by a special shield. Asa finds out about John Constantine and Chas's relationship back in the day and what happened in Newcastle. There, Constantine opposed Logue, a dark sorcerer, by summoning a demon called Nurgle to fight Logue and his minions. John and Chas took Logue's daughter away, but in his arrogance, John forgot to use a binding spell against the demon. Nurgle was unstoppable, and that night, he killed Logue as well as many innocent people in the club above. In the end, Nurgle opened a portal and took Astra away, leaving a remorseful and half-crazed Constantine behind. As John and Chas arrive at the designated spot, they realize that they have come to an awfully demonic place. What is more dreadful is that when Constantine walks alone, he comes across a pool full of dead bodies. Master Beyrul appears then and chats with Constantine. As it turns out, Master Beyrul used Trish to lure Constantine to his mansion. He walks with him to a room where demons torture poor humans, using them as musical instruments and tossing a few into a magic screen, where they all die horribly. Constantine watches indifferently at first, until the sights are much for his stomach. Master Beyrul changes the scenery and uses a spell to make Constantine dance, before a woman dancer throws him through a sphere and out into space. John freezes over and is consumed by a vile monstrosity, but that is only an illusion. He and Master Beyrul are seen by the pool again. Master Beyrul tells John that he seeks as many souls as he can get his hands on, but there are 5 other demons who vie for the monopoly of that hellish market, so he wants Constantine to wipe out these demons for him. John asks to see Trish first, and Beyrul says that she is safe for the moment, hidden inside his disgusting body. Chas, who has been eavesdropping, storms now into the room and attacks Beyrul. But the demon is not a mindless thrall, and teleports Chas to the roof of a cathedral. Constantine agrees to work for Beyrul in exchange for the return of Trish's soul to her body. Picking up Chas, Constantine tells about Beyrul's business and his power fueled with human souls that allow him to open small portals between hell and earth. Constantine says his plan to Chas when he sees in the rearview mirror a pack of hellhounds pursuing them. Chas panics and drives like a maniac where Constantine bashes a few demonic dogs' heads. The car goes off a cliff, killing some of the hellhounds, but more are coming, and Constantine quickly raises a firewall to keep them away. He and Chas run away when a car appears on the road, speeding on the cliff wall and avoiding the firewall. The driver offers them a ride out of this mess, and John and Chas get in. The man drops them off to their hotel before his eyes shine again, as though from demonic possession. Apparently someone is keeping an eye out for Constantine. Meanwhile, Renee and Asa witness a pair of evil spirits trying to possess Trish's soulless body. The shield holds on, but Asa tells Renee that the longer the soul remains away from the body, the harder it'll be to protect Trish. Constantine visits Beyrul again, who is disappointed by his performance. John asks to see Trish, and Beyrul pushes him inside his body. Asa astral projects herself there and notifies Constantine that time is of the essence before Beyrul spurts Constantine out. John starts to walk away when Beyrul tells him about Newcastle. Constantine is astonished to find out that Beyrul is in fact the demon Nergal, the one Constantine had summoned a long time ago. Nergal praises Constantine's skills and asks him to gather souls for him. John learns of the dismal fate of Astra and the threat about Asa if she tries to enter his body again. Constantine is soon approached by a possessed child who directs him to a bar. A mysterious woman offers him a drink and reveals herself to be the Queen of Angels, the possessed people and the whispers in Constantine's head. Talking Constantine to the toilet, she strips and rides him, revealing to him that she is the collective memory of the city of Los Angeles. The Queen of Angels is protecting her people and gives them second chances when asked, but she needs Constantine to fight the demons that threaten the welfare of her city. Back in the hotel, Constantine reads about Mictlantecuhtli, the Aztec god of death, and Chas nearly shits his pants with the apparition. Constantine visits a slaughterhouse and summons Mictlantecuhtli. He falls into a bloody pit where the Aztec death god grabs him and asks him why he has come. Constantine gets out of there in one piece, and together with Chas they go to an abandoned church. Constantine lights up another cigarette and 5 hideous demons approach him. Constantine says that he has lied to the demons about taking out Nergal for them, they being his competitors, and instead he has lured them there for Mictlantecuhtli to feast on them. Mictlantecuhtli attacks the demons and rips them apart while Chas has sealed the place with holy water. The demons put up a good fight and weaken Mictlantecuhtli enough for Constantine to burn him to cinders. Soon afterwards, John informs Nergal about the demise of his opponents, but he sees the Queen of Angels sitting there with him. He learns that these two have made a deal of putting up with one another in exchange for some sacrifices. Chas is angry to hear that he will never save his daughter, and lashes out at Nergal and Constantine. He knows, however, that he can't hit the demon, as Trish is still inside him, and he can't hit Constantine as well as he is his friend. Chas leaves, while Nergal asks Constantine to keep working for him. In the meantime, the doctor at the hospital implies about pulling the plug on Trish, but Renee won't hear a word about this. Constantine gets drunk and causes a trouble that sends him to jail. Chas bails him out and urges once again to save Trish. Constantine agrees, but only after forming a decent plan. They both go to a hospital where Constantine calls forth Nergal and recites a voodoo incantation that opens up many portals between Hell and LA. Constantine threatens Nergal's authority by calling more demons to LA if he doesn't release Trish's soul. Nergal agrees, but he doesn't keep his end of the bargain, and Constantine proceeds with Plan B. He contacts Asa, and using Chas and Renee's love for Trish, he shatters Nergal from within and finally releases the little girl's soul. Trish wakes up in the hospital and Renee hugs her. Asa leaves, and a little while later, Constantine tells Chas that the spell he used to save Trish has erased any memory of his family, and also Constantine from Chas's mind. Chas leaves, and the Queen of Angels in an old man's guise comes to reassure John about his old friend. Leaving the diner, Constantine sees one of his inner demons having survived from Nergal's fury, and decides to keep him as a pet. And the thrilling film comes to an end. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. If you like this video, please consider subscribing to our channel. I'll be back with another interesting movie recap. Until then, take care.